It's almost Christmas, and I feel like this has somehow been the busiest year of my life, which coming off of last year, having planned a wedding, gotten married, gone on a 3-week honeymoon, gotten back from the honeymoon and immediately traveled to an event, I didn't think anything could be busier than that, but maybe it's just because I'm living right now. I truly feel like I've been in the trenches as far as how stressed and busy I've been. All that to say, I have not done a lot of like reading updates. I don't even know if I've filmed the last couple months of reading recaps. I feel like I've been in survival mode, but I have a few minutes, so I wanted to just sit down and do a what I have finished reading recently, what I am currently reading, just all in one video. This week I finished a couple of books. I finished Mary Kubica's new book, which was phenomenal. I got this as an ARC and I also got the audio ARC, so I did a bit of a tandem read. I just kept getting more and more hooked as I read, and this ended up being one of my favorites, if not my favorite Mary Kubica book yet. I think this comes out sometime in January, so I highly recommend this one if you like her books. I also just finished Tahereh Mafi's first book in this series. It's called This Woven Kingdom, and I loved this. We'll immediately be starting book 2. I'm committing to continuing the series I want to right away, because otherwise I just wait for so long and have to go back and reread the first book anyways. But this was amazing. It was a lot of build up. It was a bit slower because you are just getting to know the characters. But the way this ended was insane. The last 10 to 20 pages were honestly some of the craziest I've read in a end of a fantasy book. This is young adult and I absolutely adored it. I'm just a huge fan of her writing. I read most of the Shatter Me series and one of her other books too that was middle grade, and loved them all. Moving on to books I'm in the middle of. I think I'm in the middle of 4 or 5 books right now. The first one is Tailored Realities by Brandon Sanderson. I'm just under the halfway mark on this one. I think I've read 4 or 5 of the short stories so far, and I love these. There's such a variety in the style of stories in this. It started out with a thriller horror type of short story. It's had some very sci-fi heavy, some very fantasy heavy stories, and it's been a blast. I am just about to finish The Merriest Misters, which is a queer Christmas romance that has some fantasy magical elements to it as well. You follow this couple who's kind of in a struggling marriage, and they end up getting kind of sucked into the Christmas season in a way they never could have imagined. When one of them sees an intruder in their home that's actually Santa Claus, knocks them out, thinking that somebody's robbing them. Santa Claus quits. One of them has to become Santa Claus now, take his place, and it kind of sounds insane, but it really it works. It works in the story, and I think it's really fun. And really kind of examines and focuses on the dynamics between the two husbands. It's not like a second chance romance per se, because they are still married at the beginning of the book, but they are struggling at the beginning, so it's kind of a second chance as you're seeing them re-fall in love with each other. I'm also 70% done at Audrey Lane Stirs the Pot, I think is what it's called. This one's a queer cooking romance, and it's not my favorite so far, but I am enjoying it. So far it's going to be in the 3-star range. I don't know what it is that's not just grabbing my attention with this book, but I don't know, we'll see. There's still some time to go. I'm also reading Such Sheltered Lives. I've been reading this for a long time, very slowly on my Kindle. I haven't had time to sit down and read my Kindle in a long time, but I do plan to do that this week. The day after Christmas, I'm committing to just relaxing. My husband and I have